Hey guys, what's going on? Back for another game review, and it's time to talk about one of my most anticipated games of 2022, and that is Ghostwire Tokyo, developed by Tango Gameworks, the same team behind the Evil Within games. I've had my eyes on Ghostwire Tokyo ever since it was announced back at E3 2019. The concept sounded not only really cool but also very unique. A paranormal action game with horror elements and then taking place in Tokyo, sold. So I finally got my hands on this one, played it, and beat it. And well, I can't deny, I have some thoughts on this one. Before I continue on, the footage you're all seeing is captured on a PS5 with the game on performance mode. Getting into the plot, in Ghostwire Tokyo, you play as Akito, a man who has been possessed and resurrected from the dead by a character named KK after an accident. Akito soon discovers that all of Tokyo's citizens have vanished and ghostly spirits named visitors have invaded the city. There's also a group wearing Hanaya masks who have big plans for Tokyo, one of which involves Akito's sister. Starting with everything that I liked, let's get into the gameplay. Now I cannot lie about this. Your mileage may vary with the gameplay, because when you really think about it, besides the story missions and the side quests, the gameplay is really exploring Tokyo doing elemental finger guns. And yes, that's really what it is. And getting rid of the corruption in Tokyo. Some may find this repetitive and monotonous, but I actually found it to be a lot of fun, and it's really the big reason why I kept playing the game. One of the elements that I liked about the combat was the use of the elements, using wind, fire, and water along with arrows and talismans to fight the visitors. The combat may seem repetitive at first since you're just using wind, but keep playing and you might find that it requires a bit more strategy than you would expect. But it kind of reminded me a bit of Doctor Strange meets Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's one aspect that I loved about the game, and that was the opening. It was very unique, cool, and it got me really excited to see the rest of the game. The setup was just awesome, and I thought at the time, this is going to be epic. And throughout the story, the game has these insane moments where it's just messing with you. These moments showed so much potential, and I kind of wished there were more just like it. Another thing that I really dug about the game were the graphics and the art direction. Now, I do have more to say later, but Ghostwire Tokyo has this neon aesthetic that I really dug. Whether you're playing on performance or quality mode, the game does look very good. The greens, reds, and blues really pop in a lot of certain areas. Also, another thing that I really liked about the game was the enemy design. As far as I'm aware, the enemy designs are based on Japanese folklore, and let me tell you all, there are some badass looking monsters. Some were actually really fun to fight too. But to me, the best aspect about the game was the back and forth between Akito and KK. Hearing their back and forth dialogue, telling each other stories at certain times, building each other up, etc, etc. Their friendship, honest to God, I thought besides the gameplay, at least in my eyes, carried the game. Now, onto my issues. Starting off with the main story. Do not get me wrong, the opening is great. It sets up the mystery, the concept, and it teases what could be an awesome villain. More on him later. But honestly, the story was average at best. And I also found the motivation for Akito to be very poorly done. And I swear to God, guys, at one point I forgot about the person he was trying to help out. And just the story alone didn't really interest me that much. I actually had more fun helping out the spirits for side quests than the actual story itself. Speaking of the villain was one of the most one-note villains I have seen in the game in a long time. He's one of those villains that you think, holy crap, I can't wait to fight this guy. To instead, who are you again? And the motivation, as you could probably imagine, typical 101 villain nonsense. One aspect I do want to mention is the visuals. As cool as the game looked, I feel like the game could have used more time and polish. There are certain aspects where the game just doesn't look that great, and I did experience some frame rate drops here and there. And while quality mode looked very good, it just did make me go like, wow. And one more thing I do want to mention. Now, I don't know if it was just me that experienced this, but I experienced some bad input lag. I actually had to speed up the camera just so it could feel more responsive. So overall, I have to be honest, Ghostwire Tokyo was just okay. There are some really cool things about this game, and there's potential that shows flashes of what could have been such a really cool and unique take on the horror genre. But I gotta tell you all, I expected more, especially given the development team. All in all, I'm going to give Ghostwire Tokyo a 6.5 out of 10. I was really excited to play this game. When I got to the end credits, I just thought, I'd say if you really want to play this game, just wait till it's on sale, like $20, $30, then probably pick this game up. So comment down below and let me know. Have you guys played Ghostwire Tokyo? What'd you all think? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat, so if y'all want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the usernames in the description below. And that's going to wrap it up for my review of Ghostwire Tokyo. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for my latest video game review goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 video game reviews, please click to the left or right side of the screen. And of course, until my next video game review goes live, I'll see you all next time.
社に何かないか調べておけよ。
パッチが足りたな。